Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 33 and right now I have got absolutely none of my armor, none of my gear or anything like that because of course at the end of the previous Hermitcraft episode I did an AFK fishing session and I did not want to repeat what I did in the episode before the previous one where I lost all of my stuff during an AFK fishing session. But anyway, as you can see, we are currently in the new storage area. Now, I cannot believe how much we managed to get done in yesterday's episode of Hermitcraft. I mean, we have managed to get... well, we've managed to get about 2/3 of the storage system done. And obviously, it did take quite a long time. It took a very long time indeed. But I am so surprised by how fast the progress was. I was honestly expecting to get maybe 1 or 2 rooms done because I'm very meticulous with my blocks. I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of like, you know, if you don't understand redstone, it takes you ages to build a simple redstone contraption. So say someone who doesn't understand redstone, it will take them a very long time to build a 2x2 piston door, but someone like me who does understand this stuff can come in and build one in 20 seconds. Now flip that around for building, okay? Someone who understands building, this sort of thing is probably a walk in the park, okay? But for someone like me who really struggles with that side of Minecraft, I have to spend so long trying to work out what shapes are actually going to look good and what's going to come together nicely that these sorts of projects take endlessly longer than the most complex redstone contraptions, but I'm happy with it, it looks amazing, and hopefully we're going to continue work on it in today's Hermitcraft episode. So, the first module that we're actually going to be working on is this one over here, the redstone module. Arguably the most important one. It involves a lot of different types of blocks. We've got red concrete powder, red concrete, we have some redstone blocks, we have red nether brick, red terracotta, and also a tiny bit of red wool as well. None of these things I actually have at this point in time. So I think, yeah, a bit of a resource gathering mission is at hand for the start here. Is that not how it works? I swear that's how it's meant to work. Oh yeah, it's probably a good idea that you actually put the red ones in. That's the first spoon moment of today's episode. So far, my resource gathering is going pretty well. I've had to learn the recipe for red nether brick. I had never crafted that before, so I've managed to get some nether wart. That's right there. We've got the red terracotta, the red glazed terracotta. I'm about to get the red concrete powder, and then of course the red concrete. We are onto a winner, and I feel like we're definitely going to have enough stuff to actually create our red nether room. And planes are flying over again. Goodwood Festival of Speed. Stage 1 of the build has been completed, so we have got a lot of the walls in place. I'm trying my best to do this effectively. This is one of those ones, much like the miscellaneous item section, that is very colour sensitive. These ones here, they're easy. It's lots of similar blocks. These ones, there's a lot of messing about to do. Right, so these should be the final few blocks for the roof of the redstone section. Sweet, that looks really cool actually. That's a cool look. I've just realised in the whole redstone section, are you kidding me? There's a certain block missing that could be deemed relatively important. How have I done that? Arguably the most important block in the redstone section isn't actually in the redstone section at this point in time. It's good that that is the case because, I mean, I was looking at this and I think there definitely needs to be a bright block to go alongside all of this stuff because it is looking a little bit samey and almost a tiny bit dull, to be honest with you. And that has made things look about 10 times better. First off, I've got the redstone blocks in place. I now also have the floor in place as well. And it is looking considerably cooler. The only thing that I will say is that it's also a little bit dark up at the top there. So I think actually one thing that I could do to keep things redstone related is chuck in some redstone lamps. Let's see, do we actually have any glowstone left? Yes, we do. Yep, let's just convert these and these can be the lighting for the redstone section. Redstone area is done, finished, completed. That is the full package and I'm chuffed to bits with it. In fact, I would say this is probably one of my favourite sections in the entire storage system. I think I definitely prefer it to this area. I don't know, actually, no, I really like the roof in this area. And this one, I like the overgrownness. I do quite like the dungeon section as well. I don't know if I particularly like this area. This is like my least favourite one so far. But it's so difficult to tell. It really is difficult to tell. I guess I'll ask you guys. Let me know down in the comment section what your favourite sections are. And while you do that, I'm guessing I'm going to have to start work on the wooden section? Yeah, the wooden section. And this is by far and away my favourite section in the entire build in the testing world. So, I don't know, this could have a bit of a tough contender, to be honest with you. I've been placing blocks randomly again, and it is coming together pretty well. So these are the 3 sets of chests for the wooden section, and then we also have the big archways that go up and over the top. We actually only have 2 archways in the wooden section, which is a little bit strange because most of them have like a bunch of archways going over. But that's how I did it in the testing world, and I like the way that it looked in the testing world, so we're going to be sticking with that there. And then obviously the blocks kind of go upwards from these points, and we'll have like a big section here. I wonder if there's like a secondary arch in the middle. I imagine there's got to be. Nope, this one truly is weird, but it does look pretty cool. Just thought I'd give you a bit of a progress update because I've been working on this thing for probably about an hour now. This is where we currently stand with the wooden section, and I'm really happy with it. I've just popped down for pretty much the first time in the entire time I've been working on this, and the shapes are coming together so nicely. That is truly organic. That's what I would describe as being a really, really nice organic shape coming across. I think it's the colours. It's got to just be the colours. It has to be, because this is my favourite one in this world. It's also my favourite one in the testing world as well. I just think the colours just come together so nicely. Awesome. Okay, things are going well, apart from the fact that I have a fly that just seems to really want to fly into my eye right now. I gotta leave. This is a scary moment. Perfect. Yep, this room's looking good. We've got a slight hole up here, but that's nothing too serious. Really, really nice. Okay, so the next thing that comes along is obviously the flooring. That all needs to be done. And then all of the fence posts, which are going to be used to add detail to this entire build. A bit like what we did over here with these fence posts. It just makes things look about 10 million times better. I only have 13 fence posts left, and I'm trying my best to use them effectively in a way that I think will look cool. So that area is looking a little bit bare. That could do with some detail, maybe a little bit there, and there. This is it. This is the moment. Yes, we've done it. That was the sound. That was the sound of true happiness, because I've actually managed to replicate what I did in my testing world to a decent level. I mean, I think I've taken it a step further. This definitely, this is trumped this one. I'm sorry, Redstone Room. I liked you for all of about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I thought you were the best for about that long. But now this thing's come along, and man, me and this room are best friends forever. This is perfect. I'm chuffed to bits. Okay, right, what comes next? I actually can't remember. Nether room, and that involves a lot of this stuff, which I have no clue how to make, and this stuff, which I have some idea how to make. It requires a lot of nether wart, and I really don't have too much nether wart. Okay. Yeah, let's crack on. Now, I'm fairly certain there are a few nether wart farms on the server, which should hopefully help me out in this situation, because, as I say, I'm going to need quite a lot of the stuff, and I don't want to just go out manually getting it from nether rooms. I'm certain that Wells Knight has one. However, Wells Knight's one was quite small, so instead I've popped over to Tango Tech's place, and he has got this rather enormous AFK nether wart farm. So the idea is I think you just get slowly pushed around, and you punch and place nether wart as you go. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100% certain. I'm actually going to have to go back and watch that video, but I'm not going to be making use of the AFK-ness of this. I'm literally just going to be harvesting it manually, because I imagine this much here in this room is probably going to be more than enough for me. Oh, and of course, before all of you guys start stressing out down in the comment section, I am replanting all of the nether wart as well. I'm just going to leave Tango with an empty farm. I have new respect for Tango and his crazy nether builds, because all this stuff is just such a pain in the backside to get. There's so much smelting and crafting and waiting involved, I can't believe it. As per usual, stage 1 has been completed. Stage 1 being the addition of the archways. Now, the only thing that I will say is that I was quite abrupt with the transition between the nether area and also our wooded area, but I am liking the shapes that we've created there. Yeah, this is cool. It's much more difficult to work with these tiny little ones. This is like a really small section of the build. Unlike this one here where we've got plenty of space for crazy arches and things like that, we've only got about 10 blocks to play with. So I'm just going to have to be super creative with what I do with the roof area. With not that many blocks, I have to say. We're kind of running low already. This is another one that is extremely difficult. A bit like the redstone room. It's so color sensitive. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. After this tiny little section, I have concluded that Tango is the best hermit on the Hermitcraft server. He isn't currently on, but I will let him know at some point, because the way that he makes these nether colors work, I don't know. That means, I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool. It looks alright. I suppose once we add in the fence posts, as per usual, hopefully, fingers crossed, things will start to improve. And the floor. I always forget the floor. Now that the nether section is done, this thing is really starting to come together. And the funny fact about this is that even though we've only done 3 modules here, because of the difficulty that I've had with the modules, they're quite difficult modules, the length of time it's taken me to do these 3 is roughly equal to the length of time it took for me to do the entire rest of the storage system. So the other 2/3 of it, give or take maybe an hour or so, which is, yeah, it's a little bit strange, a little bit crazy, but we do still have 1 left to go. The only issue with the last one is that I have absolutely no resources for it. I have nothing gathered up apart from the stone slabs. Now, the big deal with this section is that, of course, it is the coloured section, and I don't have any colours at this point in time. So what do we need? We need red. We have red. We're doing well there. We need blue. Lapis, I've got that, and obviously bone meal, I could get that, that's okay. Yellow, I can get through bone mealing sunflowers, so we should be okay there. This one will be more difficult. I don't actually know how to get pink or purple. Purple is blue and red, right? Or is it blue and green? Oh my word. I gotta do some research on colour theory. Now, I think a fun thing to do while I'm collecting up these items is to do a quick time lapse, because we didn't have a time lapse in the previous episode, and that's a shame. I really like these time lapses, and I feel like this would be the perfect opportunity to do it. So here goes, collecting lots of different coloured types of blocks and doing all the resource gathering for this module. So in today's time-lapse chat, I want to tell you a bit of a story about something that happened this time last year. So for those of you who aren't into cars, there is a very big event that is happening this weekend, known as the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Now, this is one of the biggest car events in the world. Pretty much all the car manufacturers are there, and the main highlight of the show, I guess, is the fact that going up the centre of the event, there is a very small, very narrow road going up a hill, and it's known as the Goodwood Hill Climb. And a lot of the cars that are at this event will go flying up this hill climb full speed, and they just do it as a demonstration. It's not necessarily a race. People do set times. For example, I think the McLaren P1 LM has set the world record last year for the fastest time going up the hill climb. But essentially, it's just a bit of fun. And you have all sorts of different cars going up there, from new cars that haven't been released yet, all the way back to like 90 or 100-year-old cars. You've got the most expensive cars in the world, things like Ferrari 250 GTOs worth £50 million flying up the hill climb. It's just a big spectacle for everyone there. And throughout my entire life, I kind of had this thing on my bucket list, but I've got 2 bucket lists, okay? And I think everyone has as well. You have your attainable bucket list, the things that you really want to do that you think you're going to be able to do in your lifetime. Like, I really want to go to the Grand Canyon. That's definitely something that I am able to do. I would be able to plan out that trip, and I would be able to go, so that is on the attainable bucket list. On the non-attainable bucket list is things like going to the moon, okay? I would love to go to the moon. That would definitely be on my bucket list, but I don't think I'll ever be able to do it. And one thing that was on the non-attainable bucket list was going up the Goodwood Hill Climb. I always wanted to do it, but I just assumed it was something that was never going to happen. But this time last year, I actually got invited by BMW to go up the Goodwood Hill Climb as a passenger with British touring car champion Jack Goff. Now, this was obviously extremely exciting, and obviously I said yes. And we sat down in the BMW M4 GTS. I chatted to him for a while because you wait while all of the other cars go up the hill climb. We had a really nice conversation, and then he absolutely let loose up the hill climb despite never driving the BMW M4 GTS before. He had no clue how well it handled, but more importantly, he didn't actually know the track. He'd never been up the hill climb before. This was his first time as well as mine, and he kind of knew where it went, but didn't really know what the speeds were. And I thought, well, that means that he's going to take it easy, you know, he's going to chill out, he's not going to go too fast. I was wrong. He was absolutely sideways, just completely flat out. And the interesting thing about the hill climb is that when you get towards the top, there's what's known as the big flint wall up at the top, which is a big wall that goes up the left-hand side of the track. And it's huge, and it's a big retaining wall. It's not going to go anywhere if you hit it. And obviously, I'm the passenger on the left-hand side. And when we flew up past this thing, I have no clue how fast we were going, but we just came out of a turn way too quickly, faster than I ever thought a car could do. I felt extraordinarily close to that wall. It was absolutely terrifying. One of the scariest things I've ever done, but also one of the best things I've ever done. And it was just one of those things that I'm definitely going to remember for my entire life. Sadly, this year I'm not going to be going up the hill climb again. I'm just going to be a spectator. But it was probably one of the most memorable moments of my life. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, back onto the Hermitcraft server. And there we go, we have managed to get pretty much every single brightly coloured block in the game. We've got loads of dye, we've got all of the concrete powder, we have the terracotta, we have the glazed terracotta, and also the hardened concrete as well. And we have a half a stack of everything, which hopefully, fingers crossed, should be enough to cover up all of the modules for the final module of our modular storage system. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm going to chuck away these items that I have right here. I'm going to grab myself some stone slabs because those are the things that divide up our different modules. And then we can start work on actually creating this thing. The end is near. The end is actually near. So I've done the first little segment here, made it entirely out of blue blocks. And hey, that actually looks pretty cool. It looks pretty good. Now, the issue with doing this is that this one has so much variety in the blocks that I can choose that I can't actually fit them in my hotbar. So I had to kind of change up my blocks halfway through, and you can see it gradually gets more dark blue as I go up. So maybe I should kind of balance that out a little bit. But no, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Right, first coloured section is done. This area down at the bottom here is going to be for yellow blocks, and I'm just hoping that I have enough. By the look of things, though, I gathered way too many. I mean, we used 5. We used 5 concrete. Oh, what a moron. By the look of things, I just about got my quantities right when it came to the red blocks, because I am pretty much all out of the stuff. Now let's drop down to the bottom, and this is by far the biggest section of the area, and it looks really cool, doesn't it? Obviously, everything's a little bit dark at this point in time. We've got the red, we've got the yellow in place, we've got the blue. Final few modules now, I guess. The final one is the pink stuff. And then we have to do all of the stained glass. I completely forgot about the stained glass when I was getting my resources. But look, the end is near. We're almost done with the gigantic... Oh my word. It's just starting to dawn on me that this project that I was so terrified of for so long is almost done in just 2 days of hard Minecraft work. That is really quite something. I'm kind of a bit lost for words here. I should probably finish building it before I start getting lost for words. So as it happens, I actually totally forgot about one of the colours, which is orange. So we need orange glazed yeah, that's not how you do that. I need some glazed terracotta, and you do that by putting in orange terracotta. That's probably going to do the trick. And also I need the orange concrete. Yeah, we're on our way. We are well on our way. And that, my friends, is that. We are done with the storage system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Torch is gone. I guess probably could do with a piece of glowstone in this area. Maybe a tiny bit more light in this zone as well, because we definitely don't want any creepers spawning, exploding in this place. But this is it. this is it. Now, this is probably one of the biggest building projects I think I've done. Just flat out building projects. Because I'm not one of those people. I don't tend to do like big rooms like this and create cool shapes and try my best to do caverns and things. I never tend to do that. I tend to, whenever I do big projects in Minecraft, for example, like the Guardian Farm, it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose to be a Guardian Farm. And then in the end, I kind of try my best to make it look cool by adding in the cyan clay. And yeah, it did end up looking pretty cool. I am fairly happy with it. But the cave system that we've just created, that serves only a function to look cool. Obviously, the sorting system itself, that is functional and that actually works. But we could have just made like a standard room around it like I've done with all other sorting systems I've done in the past. But this time we decided to do something special. And I am really, really glad that I did. To the person that suggested that I should create, I think they originally said you should create biomes for the different types of color. Because where this idea actually came from. Now, let's go into story time here because I want to chill out at the end of today's Hermitcraft episode. After a lot of time spent building it and a lot of time just progress updating, it'd be nice to have a little chat in the end right here. So the idea kind of came into fruition from Vintage Beef. You know, when in Hermitcraft Series 5, I can't actually remember when it was in Hermitcraft Series 5, but it was relatively early on. Me and Vintage Beef, we got together and I built him a little elevator and also a little piston door. That's basically how it went. And he mentioned that he was storing all of his items in different rooms. Because the thing is that, you know, when you start recording an episode, you're always just going to be in your storage system. And that gets a little bit boring. So what he did was he spread all of his items out throughout his base. So that he had to go to different areas to pick up items. And I really liked that idea. I thought that was super, super cool. And now I have tried my best to do it in my own form on Hermitcraft Series 5. Now, I have tried my best to keep it practical, so obviously all of the items are in a similar location. So if I need, say, for example, something from the miscellaneous section, I'm not like 300 blocks away. I can just run across to the other side. But the idea does still stand. We don't have one single storage room. We have a bunch of different kind of caverns for the different parts of the storage system that correspond to the different items that we're going to have in those caverns. And that is something that I really like, and I'm so happy that it's come out like this. I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier. I hope that you've enjoyed these past couple Hermitcraft episodes where I've been working on this thing. I apologise that it has been a little bit samey and a tiny bit progress updatey. Obviously, it's literally just been, I've done element 1 of this module. Oh, I've finished up this module. Now moving on to the next module. Part 1 of this module is done, etc, etc, etc. But still, I hope you found the building process entertaining, and I hope that you like the end result. I guess in the next episode, we'll connect it all up, and we'll get all of the items inside the sorting system, so that we can actually start using this thing. But for the time being, I think I'm going to go to bed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and of course, check out the latest film that I've literally just released on the filming channel. It's about my friend's new car. It's probably one of my personal favourites. Link will be on the end screen.